5, whatever. But I mean, well, I was thinking like how many people were coming, and I was like, oh, all 4 of our girls are going to be on here because everybody's coming from different directions, and I want to shoot myself because Before we begin, let us take a moment to give thanks for the guidance, support, and humility necessary to help this organization succeed in serving as a beacon for the scholarship, leadership, service, and character that are the pillars of the National Honor Society. Good evening. I am the current president, Anna Novak. Welcome to this year's Burrell High School National Honor Society induction, and thank you for being here to support the new and current members. To begin our festivities this evening, please welcome NHS member Katie Armstrong, who will be singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Katie. My name is Reese Pallone, and I serve as the NHS Secretary. I would like to introduce the current members of Burrell's chapter of the National Honor Society. Current officers: President Anna Novak, Vice President Alana Lesson, Secretary myself, Reese Pallone, Treasurer Sarah Kelly. Current senior members: Michael Bluebach, Georgia Brothers, Donovan Callaghan, Ian Campbell, Brandon Corey, Ethan Croucher, Allison Fisher, Kimberly Hong, Caden Ireland, Shane Jablonski, Jess Kolakowski, Kate Liner, Ethan Lugo, Rex Rayberg, Brooke Stock. Current junior members: Katie Armstrong, Avery Bain, Alexa Callender, Chase Fenner, Maddie Gerthofer, Emily Higgins, Dominique Herman, Riley Herman, Allie Hughes, Abigail Larko, Bryn Liner, Britta Lindgren, Alyssa Loggett, Jackson Loggett, Aiden Mallins, Emily Marchalewski, Otto Miller, Jenna Mitnick, Maggie Omnasinski, Quinn Oswald, Mackenzie Pasquelli, Ian Quinn, Ava Rasevich, Amelia Salick, Ryan Shefnick, Bella Seidel, Camden Seidel, and Emily Wojcik. At this time, I'm proud to introduce our first guest speaker, Jayla Manga. Jayla Manga graduated from Burrell in 2014. She graduated from Kent State and now works for Republic Airways. Her speech is entitled, "How the Pillars Propelled Me Forward."
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be asked to speak back here at Burrell High School. When Anna reached out to me about speaking at the induction, I immediately thought about my senior year at my NHS induction. It seems like just a couple months ago I was sitting on that stage as a student, but it was actually almost 8 years ago. A lot of things have changed for me in the last 8 years. I went to Kent State University and graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Aeronautics, and I'm currently a regional airline pilot flying out of Pittsburgh International Airport. When I was sitting on that stage those years ago, I didn't realize how the core values in this society Society teaches would propel me to where I am today. The definition of character, in my opinion, can be simplified into, who are you when nobody's looking? Many of you go off to college and have a lot more freedom than you've ever had in your life. Who do you want to be when your parents, siblings, and teachers aren't always checking in on you? In my job, I'm fortunate to not have to report to a boss each day. I go to work, and there's 2 of us in the flight deck and 2 flight attendants in the back. However, I act the same way as if my chief pilot was sitting next to me. People take notice of how you act. It's important to always be honest, even when it might be hard, and to do the right thing, even when nobody's looking. Scholarships, a lot of the times, could just be thought of as in the school environment. I referred to college earlier, but even if you go straight to the workforce, there's always something to learn. When I was in college, part of my curriculum included flying courses. I was so lucky. Some of my classes literally consisted of flying airplanes. And you better believe every time I flew past the Kent State Library, I smiled knowing I wasn't in there studying. I got all of my pilot certificates in ratings when I was there. One of the more challenging certificates I earned was my Certified Flight Instructor certificate, which would allow me to start teaching students how to fly. When I passed my check ride, the check airman said, "This certificate is a ticket to learn." The real learning would begin now. I had students who would ask me questions I never even thought of before, or I'd have to learn the systems of the airplane so well that I could accurately teach it to a student. I could no longer just make up the answer and hope it was right. I was responsible for getting the correct information to them. I was just in training at my current job. A couple weeks ago, I went through a course to become a captain. It was a lot of studying and learning for a new leadership role in the flight deck. Now all the big decisions fall on my shoulders, and I have to continue to develop my skills and knowledge for this new role. Again, the learning would begin now. I have the training and certificate to be the pilot command of a 76-passenger jet, but I cannot be prepared for every situation that may arise. Each day I will have to continually learn how to handle different situations, whether it be a mechanical issue, a passenger disturbance, or adverse weather. That brings me to the next pillar, which is leadership. There are many different leadership styles and approaches, but I think it's so important when you are in a leadership role to lead by example. I was recently listening to Sidney Crosby's audiobook, and one of his teammates talked about how when Sidney's warming up and doing shooting practice, he's the one that goes and collects his own hockey pucks and sets them up again. He's arguably one of the greatest hockey players of all time, and he's not above going to pick up his own pucks. That's leading by example. A good leader makes you want to follow them. I've flown with many people who will tell you exactly how to fly the airplane and make it known to every gate agent, flight attendant, and passenger who's in charge. I've also flown with captains who encourage a positive work environment, collaboration, and want everybody to feel valued. When things go wrong with a pilot like that, it's so much easier to resolve the issue than with somebody who is arrogant and wants to show everybody how good they are. As someone who is now taking on that role as the captain, I know exactly the type of environment I want to portray because of those leaders I worked with before me and who I enjoyed working with. Lastly, we have service. There are many ways you can serve others, but I think an important piece of this is helping those who come after you. There are countless people who've helped me to get to where I am today. Many of them are in this room. I didn't know how to apply to a college. I didn't even know what colleges offered aviation degrees, and I didn't know a lot about my first day as an airline pilot. I did, however, have a lot of generous people help me along the way. That's a big part of service, and it doesn't have to be a professional helping a student. It could be as simple as one of you up here helping a freshman who wants to be an NHS someday. Now I try to help those who are in the same situations as I was once in because someone did it for me, and hopefully somebody passes it along after me. All of these values have shaped me into the person I am today. A very common question at the beginning of a trip when I meet my co-pilot is, "Oh, where are you from?" And as a Pittsburgh-based pilot, I say, "I'm from the local area." And they're like, "Yeah, what part?" And I say, "Well, I'm from a little town northeast of here called Lower Burrell." It's funny how many Pittsburgh people don't know where Lower Burrell is. No matter how small the town or the school, This place has provided me with the tools I needed to get to where I am today. Today I'm in a much different place than I was those 8 years ago, but I still have a lot to learn and plenty of goals I still want to achieve. The National Honor Society is an honor. All of these pillars are important. With all of these tools in your toolbox, I challenge you all on this stage to continue to be the example going forward. You're already setting an example to your peers, teachers, and family members. Be the example of good character, scholarship, leadership, and service. A lot has changed in the last 8 years when I sat on this stage, but the good news is the values and lessons instilled in me from this school and this organization have stayed the same. Remember this moment and be proud of where you are now. Continue to challenge yourself going forward and in whatever comes next. Congratulations to all the new inductees tonight and all the members of the National Honor Society, and good luck in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Jayla. I'm proud to introduce our second guest speaker, Mary Jo Paco. She graduated from Burrell in 2015 and then graduated from Duquesne University, and she now works in finance for PNC Bank. Her speech is entitled The Future of the Four Pillars.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you, Reese, for the introduction, and to Anna and Mr. Facemeyer for inviting me to speak tonight. First and foremost, congratulations to all of the new members being inducted tonight. You've all worked extremely hard to get here, and you should be very proud of yourselves. It was just about 8 years ago that I was in your position on this stage. That 8 years didn't seem too long ago until Mr. Facemeyer asked me if I would speak about the 4 pillars and how they've translated into my life post-graduation from BHS. Then, the years felt like an eternity because honestly, the last time I had thought about those pillars was probably when I was sitting on stage for induction. It didn't take much thought to realize that while I haven't specifically thought about the words scholarship, service, leadership, and character all that much, they've all been constants throughout my recent years, both in college and now as I've begun my career. In my opinion, one of the best parts of college or anything you may choose to pursue after graduation is that the choice is entirely yours. The major or the career you decide on is based on your interests, and it is exactly what you'd like to learn about, which to me is what the pillar of scholarship represents, a continued love of learning. I changed my major twice in college before deciding on my final pick, the reason for that being that I wasn't excited about what I was learning in class every day. And while it isn't the case that I chose a math major, I love showing up learning about different theorems every day, I did like to learn how to solve problems and think critically in different ways. Just like a nursing major may not care much for learning about anatomy or specific conditions, he or she wants to learn how to use those to learn to care for other people. Scholarship doesn't have to stop outside of a formal classroom environment either. It can come in the form of signing up for trainings at work or digging deep into a topic that just interests you. My favorite class in college was a sports economics course, and while it has no connection to my career, although I wish it did, I still find a little bit of joy in reading different articles just to try and learn something new on a topic I'm genuinely interested in. This is the form scholarship has taken for me, as I'm no longer in that classroom setting, and a love of learning, regardless of the topic, is something that I plan on continuing throughout my entire adult life. The other pillar which has taken a new form as I've moved into a different phase of life is service. When I was younger, I was boxed in with my idea of service and what service was. The only things that would come to my mind if you asked me were being things like volunteering to tutor, helping at a food bank, or organizing some sort of drive for those in need. And while those things are obviously important, I've come to realize that service can be structured in so many different ways. In college, my sorority and I visited a nursing home each month. We didn't help with anything there, we just visited with the residents, asked them questions, and let them talk with us, which they seemed to love more than anything. Before I had that experience, I'm not really sure if I would have thought that was service, as we weren't really doing anything besides sitting there talking. But that's where my idea of service has changed. I realize there are so many little things you can do day in and day out that take the form of service without even realizing. It's something that has become naturally embedded into my life thanks to being exposed to it through the National Honor Society here. And while it can get harder to participate in those traditional acts of service, things like signing up to mentor an intern at work or buying popcorn because a friend's having a fundraiser are all things that I would never think not to do because of the foundation that was laid for me here at BHS. While my ideas of scholarship and service have strayed from what is traditional, leadership is the pillar which has stayed the most constant for me, and I hope it continues that way in the future. And if you would ask me which of the pillars has been most impactful in my life, it would be this one without a question. For a reason that most of my friends can't seem to comprehend, I was always wanting to be the leader and wanted the responsibility that came with it, whether in a formal setting or not. When I was in NHS, I was the president, which is where I absolutely learned that I enjoyed that sort of thing. I went on to college and spent 2 years as the president of my sorority, a role that had brought me some of the toughest times, but also the most rewarding experience I've had in my life. Even now in my job, when asked if I want to eventually take the manager track, there's no hesitation in saying yes. And while the title of all those things can sound really cool, it's been the experience I've gotten in learning how to have tough conversations, turning my ideas into actions, and most importantly, learning how to value those around me, which has made wanting to be a leader that much more worth it. Having these experiences has also made me recognize those around me who are good leaders in both a traditional and a non-traditional sense. For those of you who may not want to be a leader in a traditional sense, trust me when I say you don't need a title to do so. There are so many people in my life who are great leaders and who have never had a leadership role. Instead, they just take action and responsibility when needed, and they have the utmost respect for others while doing so. And that's more important than a formal title. I did save character for last because I've always thought it was the hardest to explain but the most important. It's always been my opinion that good character comes naturally when you put the effort into the other aspects of your life. In this case, the other aspects are the other 3 pillars. And since I believe character is the most important, I want to connect it to what else I believe is the most important. Not school or work, but the relationships I've made in my life and that you all are going to make. I have seen each of these other pillars in my relationships and the things I do with them. Scholarship, taking the time to learn about what my friends are learning in school or what they do for a living. Asking questions instead of just saying things like, oh, that's cool, or sounds too hard for me. Service, helping someone out when they need a hand moving or maybe just a shoulder to cry on. And leadership, be the one who brings people together. Organize that reunion with your friends, or be the one in your family to carry on a family tradition. Regardless of the path you take in life, it's the things like this that are what matters the absolute most, and that good character will always be apparent to everyone around you. To conclude, I want to thank you all again for inviting me to speak this evening. The experiences I've had at NHS and just from my time at Burrell High School as a whole have undoubtedly shaped me for the better, and I will always look back at them fondly. Congratulations again to all of you being inducted tonight, and best of luck to all the members. But judging by the fact you've all made it on the stage tonight, you're not going to need luck to succeed in whatever path you choose to take. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Mary Jo and Jayla, and for sharing your words of wisdom. Next, we have Maddie Gerthofer to provide us with a bit of history about the National Honor Society.
Good evening. My name is Maddie Gerthofer, and I am here to share with you the history of the organization that gathers us here today, the National Honor Society. I would first like to take a moment to congratulate tonight's inductees. What a major accomplishment this is. You all should be proud of yourselves. Of course, this ceremony would not exist if it wasn't for the establishment of the organization. The National Honor Society was founded by the National Association of Secondary School Principals in 1921. The purpose of the organization was to recognize and motivate students who excel in their academic work. The founders felt that the National Honor Society should be more than just an honor roll, as they encouraged the up-and-coming members to demonstrate leadership, character, scholarship, and service. These 4 attributes are known today as the 4 pillars, and all work done in the chapters is built from the foundation of these pillars. The original chapter of the organization was led by Dr. Edward Rynearson, who was the principal of the Fifth Avenue High School in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. With 7 years, the National Honor Society quickly grew from the initial chapter to over 1,000 chapters total. The formation of NHS helped rebuild student involvement throughout the community, helping them give back in many ways. Nowadays, chapters can be found in all 50 states across the country, giving students the opportunity to represent the 4 pillars which the National Honor Society strives to value. It is estimated that there are currently over 1 million members in the organization who both excel in academics and engage throughout the community to give back. Getting accepted into NHS is a huge accomplishment for those who will be inducted this evening. From the time I got to high school as a freshman and I learned about the National Honor Society, it became a goal of mine to earn a place in the organization. As I wrap up my first year as a member, I reflect on the charitable ways I have given back to the community. Words cannot describe the feeling of restoring a local park, assisting in making a less fortunate child's Christmas a reality, and serving time at local events. The joy that emanates from a local event is unique, as you see citizens of all ages coming together to enjoy their time at a spaghetti dinner, Easter egg hunt, and Christmas celebrations. Being involved, especially as a young adult, provides the opportunity to improve the community now and for years to come. The National Honor Society was built from scratch to encourage students to strive for excellence through service, scholarship, leadership, character, and continues to do that today. Thank you.
I light the candle of scholarship. Good evening. My name is Camden Seidel, and I am a junior at Burrell High School and a proud member of the National Honor Society. Tonight, I'll be speaking to you about one of the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society scholarship. Many of us, including myself, have heard the word scholarship, but maybe we do not realize what it actually means. Yet, everyone being inducted tonight has displayed many of the characteristics commonly associated with being a scholarly individual. As previously mentioned, defining the word scholarship can be challenging. Scholarship is not just the straight A's or the high grade point average that we all strive to achieve. The dictionary definition states, academic study or achievement, learning of a high level. After hearing this definition, you may still be thinking to yourself that scholarship does in fact mean for you to get those good grades and to achieve an amazing GPA level. What the definition also means is that having a high level of learning requires dedication to learning and gaining the knowledge that will make getting those A's much easier. Skills such as asking questions when needed and being able to understand and apply new material being passed on to you by teachers, parents, and others are some of the main attributes of being a scholar. Having a constant persistence and effort to learn will help you to become a better scholar. To be a good listener with your eyes wide open to all that is going on in the world around you is to be a scholar. 19th century philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson wisely stated that scholarship is to be created not by compulsion, but by awakening a pure interest and knowledge. All of us, including current members and inductees, stress over our grades and becoming blind to what we are actually learning. We tend to overstress, which causes panic. We strain ourselves and our minds, causing us to be tired. If we find ways to positively channel that stress, we can further our learning and take a deeper dive into educating ourselves as well as many of our peers. Scholarships should not stop when you are done with education and classes in school. Learning should continue every day for the rest of our lives. To all the inductees and current members, you have displayed the skills of being a scholar, the ability to gain that knowledge, and the ability to further our learning above and beyond the four walls of the classroom. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, the torch guiding us to understand the present, and the light that illuminates the future. I am encouraging everyone here tonight to set goals for themselves and to further their knowledge. Not only will you be a scholar in the classroom, but you'll become a scholar of the world, and that's a worthy goal. Thank you, and congratulations to all the inductees. Next, I would like to introduce Brooke Stoff to talk about our second pillar, leadership.
I light the candle of leadership.
Good evening. My name is Brooke Soff. First, I would like to congratulate the new inductees, the current members, and their proud families on the accomplishment of being included into the National Honor Society. The next pillar of note is leadership. So, what is leadership? There are multiple ways to answer that question. In simplest terms, leadership is defined as individuals helping themselves and others to do the right thing while setting direction, building vision, and creating something new. A leader isn't necessarily looking to be the best, rather they are looking to do the best thing in a situation with the best outcome. When displaying leadership, one must be true to themselves. Leadership means carrying yourself with dignity and taking ownership and responsibility for your own actions and participation in life. Leadership comes in all forms and shapes, whether it be answering a question in school that you're unsure of, talking to a new friend, or even motivating those around you, you are potentially displaying leadership. Likewise, being a public speaker, playing quarterback, or having an official title are not required for leadership. Those are common examples, however, everyday leadership might just involve someone who takes action and responsibility for their own path. Remember, leadership doesn't stop in high school. It continues throughout your life, continuing to persevere through life, displaying leadership as you go. Once again, congratulations to all the new inductees, and I hope you continue to show your leadership throughout your time in the National Honor Society and everyday life. Thank you. Next, I would like to introduce Bella Seidel to discuss our third pillar, character.
I light the candle of character.
Good evening. My name is Bella Seidel, and I'm a junior at Burrell High School and a member of the National Honor Society. One of the many responsibilities of being a member of the National Honor Society is to maintain good character. Character can be defined in many ways. Character is the force within an individual that distinguishes one person from another. It can mean acting with integrity, respect, or compassion. Character is not something you were born with, but something you learn and develop. Character is achieved and not received. Character can be detected in the way you treat others. It is your moral self. Character is more important than any of your achievements. Often, we don't see character unless there's a public display of self-sacrifice, or more often, a very public mistake in the way in which one responds to that mistake. Your character is in the way in which you behave when nobody is watching. Having character doesn't mean that you won't falter, fail, or make mistakes. Instead, character is defined by the way in which you handle those mistakes with strength,
honesty, and humility. As John Wooden, the famous UCLA men's basketball coach, once said, "Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are." Every day, character is not about praiseworthy or blameworthy behavior, but the personal commitment to ethical and compassionate decision-making that affects yourself and others. One of these new inductees has demonstrated that they possess amazing character. They've portrayed respect, responsibility, empathy, and citizenship. As member of the National Honor Society, you must continue to show the students and administration of Burrell High School that you are leaders and role models for your fellow classmates. In closing, civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education." Your membership into the National Honor Society highlights the fact that you've been given a true education because of the intelligence and character needed for you to be chosen as an inductee. As members of the National Honor Society, it is our continued duty to teach others through our displays of integrity, honesty, and solid character. Thank you. And lastly, I'd like to introduce Emily Marchalewski to talk about the final pillar, service.
I light the candle of service.
My name is Emily Marchalewski, and I was asked to speak about community service tonight. The American Heritage Dictionary defines community service as the services volunteered by individuals or an organization to benefit a community or institution. This wonderful National Honor Society community has and continues to apply themselves in ways that aid the community and others through service. Service is a core value that is displayed by members through their strong will and selflessness. Each person in this room has their own unique talents, and these talents and knowledge are used to better the community through a broad range of service events, ensuring a better future and environment for future generations. For example, this year the National Honor Society went as a group to restore the park beside Lower Burrell City Hall. We celebrated veterans by gifting their families with Penguins tickets, and we worked with the Need Cafe to have a volunteer-run breakfast events with Santa for the holidays. Although some actions to some may seem small, the impact made by actively choosing to volunteer and care for a community is evident. Therefore, the pillar of service is essential to the values of the National Honor Society and the community. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Alana Leslie, the current Vice President of NHS. At this time, we are proud to proclaim to all in attendance that membership in the Burrell National Honor Society has been earned by each of these candidates through the effective demonstration of the 4 qualities that serve as standards for the society. Please come up when your name is called. David Alietti. Kaylee Armando. Leah Capsabellas. Puffoletti. Emma Conti. Lily Dombrowski. Cooper Hornack. Andy Householder. Nate Krejci. Elizabeth Lagatuda. Leah Leslie. Norna Fash. Shane Napier. Nadia Nee. Grace Nesco. Rory Pallone. Lila Pileggi. Riley Sterlitz. Jessica Stahl. Morgan Swan.
Madeline Terrell. And Meadow Adarchik.
Each year, the National Honor Society awards an honorary membership to somebody of note. This year, the officers decided to recognize those teachers in the district who are retiring at the end of the school year. Who could have ever imagined the changes and challenges that educators would experience as they enter the profession not so many years older than those assembled on this stage? Tonight, we honor 6 ladies who have contributed a total of 160 years of service to the district. If each of you could please come up to the stage to take the oath of membership with some of the students you have helped on their educational journey. Mrs. Dwyer, Middle School Home Economics for 26 years. Mrs. Endlich, Middle School Physical Education, 23 years. Mrs. Shank, Bon Air Elementary for 24 years. Mrs. Toy, Bon Air Elementary, 31 years. Mrs. Tursick, Middle School Business and Computers, 26 years. And Mrs. Ulizio, High School Social Studies, 29 years.
You will all be missed, but we also know how much you will enjoy your retirement. Can we please have another round of applause for these ladies who dedicated so much of their lives to
Will all members and inductees please stand and raise your right hand? Repeat after me as I administer your oath. I pledge myself always to seek the light of truth,
always to seek the light of truth,
to hold scholarly habits,
to hold
to engage in worthy service, and to lead forward in all things, that shall advance the welfare of my school. You are all now full-fledged members of the Burrell National Honor Society of 2022. We would now like to transfer power of the offices to the newly elected members.
I transfer the power of secretary to Ava Rasevich.
I transfer the power of treasurer to Maddie Gerthofer. I transfer the power of vice president to Britta Lindgren.
I transfer the power of president to Dominique Herman. As the call to graduation arises, each senior member would like to pass on a memento and well wishes to a member of our NHS family.
I'm passing my keychain on to my best friend Ian Quinn because he knows when to hold them, he knows when to fold them, keep bygone, he knows when to walk away.
I, Georgia Brothers, would like to pass my keychain on to Abigail Larco. We've grown up together, our moms are best friends, so obviously we spent a lot of time together. And I've seen how truly kind-hearted she is. And she also demonstrates the 4 pillars of NHS. So.
I, Donovan Callahan, am passing my keychain to Jackson Logan. He shows very good leadership qualities.
I, Ethan Campbell, pass my keychain on to Elizabeth Lagatuda. She just always puts forth the best effort for everything she does, and she is very passionate in things she does, such as the arts or drama or anything it is she hears. So she is a great option.
I, Brandon Gorey, will pass my keychain on to Cooper Hornak, being a great leader and a great scholar athlete.
Ethan Crowdshore passed my keychain to Ryan Sheftick because he has one of the best work ethics I have ever seen in a student, both in and out of school. So, Ryan.
I'm Allison Fisher, and I'm passing my keychain on to Emma Conti. I've played volleyball with her, and I've seen her demonstrate the 4 pillars of NHS.
Kimberly Hong, pass my keychain on to Kaylee Armando because she's a really cool girl.
I, Caden Ireland, pass my keychain to Aiden Mallins for demonstrating great leadership around his peers.
I, Sarah Kelly, pass it on to Meadow Wadarczyk because she's compassionate, dedicated, and always puts forth her best effort.
I, Jessica Lukowski, would like to pass my keychain on to Andy Householder. For those of you who don't know Andy, she's the type of person who always has a smile on her face and is meeting people, making friends with everyone, everywhere. So she's definitely one of the kindest people that I know. I, Kate Liner, pass my keychain on to Bryn Liner because she's my sister and because she's one of the most amazing people I know. She's sweet, she's smart, and she's very caring of other people.
I, Alana Leslie, pass my keychain on to my sister, Leah Leslie, because she is the second coolest sister next to my youngest sister, Addie.
I, Ethan Luco, pass my keychain to Chase Fenner because he's a leader on the football field and a scholar in the classroom.
I, Anna Novak, pass my keychain on to Nora Nafash because she's just the sweetest girl ever, and every time I see her, she has the biggest smile on her face.
I, Reese Malone, pass my keychain to my sister Rory because I've gotten to watch her grow up to be so kind and so willing to help others.
I, Rex Freiberg, would like to pass my keychain down to David Alietti because I pole vaulted with him for 3 years. He's one of the kindest, most encouraging, and dedicated people I've ever met. He's never failed to put a smile on my face.
I, Jack Sassani, pass my keychain on to Nate Krejci. We've been in marching band and concert band together, and so I know that he's hardworking and an all-around good guy.
I, Brooke Stoff, would like to pass my keychain down to Dominique Herman for being one of the sweetest, most selfless friends that I have and for always striving to do her best in school.
Our new members would also like to recognize someone who has guided them to be the accomplished person they have become. Now our seniors would like to recognize a special person from the school district who has played a special role in their lives.
So I have just a few closing remarks. I am Mr. Facemeyer. I'm the co-sponsor of National Honor Society. This year, for the first time, with Mrs. Abel. Mrs. Abel has had the pleasure of being the sponsor for years, and she asked me if I would join her this year in leading the organization. We hope that you have enjoyed tonight's occasion as much as the students have enjoyed this evening. First, I would like to offer a special thank you to Mrs. Abel for inviting me to co-sponsor the organization this school year. I think we made a pretty good team. We are both so proud of everything the students have accomplished this year, from tutoring at Stewart, to the Christmas toy drive, to honoring our veterans, to helping maintain the public spaces in town. I'd also like to thank Dr. Boylan for usually saying yes when we ask the question, do you think it would be possible to? Why, yes, I think it would. We would also like to offer a special appreciation to our 4 officers this year. Anna, Alana, Sarah, and Reese. They probably left. Oh, there they are in the back. Each of you on your own is accomplished and talented. Together, you created the perfect storm of organization, creativity, teamwork, and willpower. What exceptional role models and young citizens you have been. And you truly enjoyed the time you spent together. That was obvious, and it was a key part of your success. Best wishes to each of you as you matriculate to college and whatever comes next. Mary Jo and Jayla, thank you for being so gracious and returning to your alma mater. Your legacy as 2 of our finest alumna has been cemented. Cheers to our colleagues as you prepare to retire. We are jealous, but we feel privileged to have worked with you, enjoying your immense gifts as educators. Sundays will take on an entirely new meaning for you. And finally, we would like to express our gratitude to the parents, family, friends, and other community members who have played a role in raising and mentoring all of the members of the National Honor Society. They say it takes a village, and this village is certainly doing its part. Before I dismiss everyone to the cafeteria for refreshments and fellowship, I would like to close with a short anecdote. One day during an officers' meeting in my room, the young ladies were busy making decisions and offering up ideas for an 8th grade move-up day. When I looked over at Mrs. Abel and noted, you know, it's getting back to the way school is supposed to be. This graduating group hasn't always had the easiest high school experience, but they've handled things with grace, courage, and positivity, and it is my belief that those challenges will end up being more blessing than curse. Congratulations on making the shift back to normal, whatever that means, and may your normal evolve into the exceptional lives that you all deserve. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Safe travels to the cafeteria for some cookies and Arnold Palmer's, named after a man who knew a little bit about induction into some pretty exclusive societies in his day too. Have a good night. Thank you.